Hey everyone, welcome to the Tuesday edition of I Hate It Here. My name is Erica,
I'm Marissa.
and thank you for hopping on the Hot Mess Express.
All aboard! Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo!
All right, guys, look at me being able to handle everything. Marissa was not able to make it to my house today, so was in charge of setting up all the equipment by myself, getting it all set and ready, and running the board. Because that's usually Marissa's job. And look at us, we got the intro right. We got the little choo choo right on time. Fuck yeah.
Look at us go. It's only October in the year, but we got it.
Hey, we fucking got it. That's a good part. All right, guys. Well, welcome to another fucking week, right? It just is doesn't stop. It just keeps going. We're in October and we're going to blink and then it's going to be 2025 and it's just the same fucking routine over and over. That's how I feel.
Yep. I feel like 2024 just said fuck all y'all. I'm out of this bitch. Like I feel like maybe January was a little bit like kind of long, but then the year just flew by. I
I
don't know if everybody feels like that, but it feels like it just flew by.
I think that it was Cat Williams who fucked everything up for everybody. He opened a portal, a special portal
Oh my
for
god, of
2025
chaos.
that just chaos ensued. So it's been like nonsense. I just saw a freaking TikTok earlier that was like somebody was just like she's like I just can't. I don't have time. I don't want to she's like I don't want to be in the cold. I don't want to be like I'm tired of the diddler. I'm tired of the hurricane. I'm tired of the pumpkin spice. She's just like I'm just fucking done. Like I can't anymore. And I totally felt that deep in my heart.
Absolutely. I feel like no matter where you go, it's some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous.
Poppy just put in the chat. If you jack the mic from an old white person, you sound amazing.
No, it's my old school Apple headphones. That's what it is.
And that's when I do my solo shows, like my music shows. That's what I
Yeah.
use as well. And because you were calling in today, I started to just kind of like I was going to do it off my phone, but I was like, oh shit, no, I need to record like the
Right.
show with you calling in and So anyhow, I had to set up the way we do, but I'm glad that those little headphones, I love them. I'm telling you, everybody keeps trying to convince me to do the AirPods, and I just can't.
I I have AirPods and I love them, but I love them when I'm moving around and doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
because you can just kind of move around, leave your phone in one place. But for this type of stuff or conversations or phone calls or anything like that or calls, I usually do these. I love these.
So there we go, guys.
But
I was gonna say
glad it sounds well.
that's what we were told during the amp days to use. Remember, everybody was always asking everybody
Yes.
when they would do like those amp creator shows or whatever, like the Ask Us Anything. I forgot what those shows were called, but
Mhm.
people would always ask them what's the best equipment, and they would always say the wired Apple pods were the best. So anyhow,
All
Mars,
right.
how's work going for you today, or how did it go this week?
I mean, it's kicking my ass already. It's barely Tuesday. I I mean, hence I didn't quite make it to your house because traffic was horrible today. I don't know what happened. It was everybody out there stay safe, but Houston traffic is the fucking worst. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get from my house to the office. And it's not like I work downtown, guys. It's not like I schlump all over town. The office is 13 miles from my home. It should have taken me maybe 20 minutes, 30 if there's traffic. It took me an hour and 20 minutes because there was a bunch of accidents today. I don't know what was in the water. I think everybody's done with everybody too because there was accidents left, right, and center. Hope everybody's safe. But yeah, I mean, it's just kicking my ass. And it's again, it's kind of I'm in the position where I've hit the wall, but it's not quite the holidays yet, so I kind of can't be like, I'm gonna. It's the holidays, so I'm gonna fuck around and just leave that for next year. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm close enough where I can see it, and I'm running on fumes.
Oh my god.
That's how I feel. What about you?
Well, I mean, honestly, guys, I say it all the time. This position that I have is a fucking breeze. I do the majority, like all my work during the day. I take my nephew to school. I come back home. I do whatever I have to do in the morning. I pump out my work, and by like afternoon, I'm really really done. And unless I have a meeting, so I just kind of dick around.
Nice.
I know. I'm
Nice.
sorry to rub that in. But you guys, I am out here. I know that I hate to rub it into people's face, but it's also like I need to eventually get a big girl job again, guys. So let's leave it at that. You know what I mean? I can't be dicking around at this place forever. Trying to work out my burnout, which is probably already worked out. So I need to start looking at big girl jobs, big girl jobs again. I need to get my ass back into motion. But I might not be like. Oh, I was gonna bring up. I'm out here doing content stuff for you guys. This is what I'm doing during these times that I'm dicking around. I am on these TikTok streets. I am on these thread streets for you guys. well, while Helen is out there dating for content, I'm out here just scoping the internets for for material to use on the show. And let me tell you, what a week it was on TikTok last week. Marissa, I want to talk to them about rug talk.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know if you all that are tuned in right now are that like into TikTok. I was not for a very, very long time. I think I finally started getting into TikTok around March this year. And now
Yeah,
I'm
give or
like,
take.
I'm like, where have I been this entire time? I fucking love it here. It's crazy town there. And all this crazy shit always happens. So Marissa and I were out on Saturday and we were talking about this particular story. So you want to tell them a little bit about Marissa, or do you want me to go into it?
I can give an intro because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
as you all know, I'm not a big social media person, so I'm not on TikTok. I live vicariously through you guys and the stories that you all share. But some of it does make it onto Instagram, right? And so you have these people that give
But like
recaps
months
and things.
later,
Listen, it made it with enough time that I knew what the hell you were talking about. So, yes. So what I saw, pretty much what Rug Talk is it's kind of like these rabbit holes that I guess in TikTok you go down and they create these hashtags and you kind of go down the rabbit hole. But pretty much it's a story of a lady who was doing work in her house and they found a rug buried in the backyard, and that's really all the details I have.
okay.
Erica, you wanna?
Oh yeah, then I should have led because I know the entire fucking story here, guys.
Yeah,
was
I do not.
deeply fucking invested. So it starts off with this lady who is she lives in Ohio. She's got this sunroom and she does work. She work. That's her office, her home office, right? So she says at 6 o'clock she packs up her home office and closes everything up and goes inside like the house, right? And doesn't really like they don't really use the sunroom because that's her home office. So she said the next day she woke up and opened her laptop and the screen is completely shattered. And she was like, "What the fuck happened in here?" And then she's looking around and there's shit all over, right? Like stuff has been thrown off her desk. It looks very disheveled. And she's like, "I know I didn't leave my desk like that." And we all know how we leave our desks, right? I know where I put particular things and how I keep my desk. So that was one of her things too. She's like, all this was thrown here. This was over here. She's like, this thing, like she's showing you on the screen, right? She's like, this thing, and it was like a little hand lotion. She's like, I always keep it on this shelf because my phone goes right here. So I would never put it. So she's just like freaked out, right? Because she's like, what the fuck happened? Maybe it was a ghost, right? So that's how she started getting notoriety or like famous on TikTok, right? That little one went viral, but not too viral. So anyhow, she goes back on later that day because her husband and her started, they were going to put a fence in their house, right? So they started digging around and they got to this one area where they were going to put a post and they start digging and there's a carpet that's dug in about 2 feet into the ground. And they're like, what the fuck? Why would we have a carpet here, right? Or why is there a carpet here? And so they're like, tried to kind of dig it out a little, but it was very long. And so she continues to say that if they had, she's like, look, we found this rug or this carpet. It's super weird that it's like that it's buried here. She's like, it's too long. We're too lazy. We're not going to figure it out. So, and plus if we keep digging it out, it's going to affect my fire pit area. And I really like my fire pit area. So she was just going to like ignore it and put the post, right? But of course she got bullied by the TikTok community telling her, what the fuck? You can't just cover it up. What if there's a dead body in that carpet? Rolled up in that carpet, right? They're like, what if there's something in there? Like, we need to find out. They're like, you need to call the cops. So she gave in and she called the cops the next day. And she's like, look, we were digging. We found this carpet. We don't know if there's anything in there. Like, I don't know if you guys want to, like, come look at it. So two cops went over. They were just like, yeah, this is fucking weird. Oh, because then they also, whoever lived there previously or whoever, like, they put a tree right on top of that fucking carpet too. Like, there was a brand new, like, it was maybe a couple years old, but there was a tree planted where that rug was, right? Or that carpet. And so they were just like, yeah, this is fucking weird. Like, what is it? So they were like, okay, well, we can't dig it up, but maybe we should see if we need to call homicide. They call their supervisor, and the supervisor's like, oh no, we don't have time to be sending homicide to do that kind of shit, right? So they were just like, we gotta go. So she's like, I guess that's it, right? But then again, the TikTok community kept pressuring her to dig out what was in there. So then she was like, fuck, you guys are such a pain in the ass. Okay, I have friends coming over. They're gonna help me dig it up. We're gonna do like a digging party, right? But like in between this, you know, she's filming like in between days, but somebody did bring up what if it was a dead pet or somebody from the previous owners. Well, she did some investigating and finds out that that house had only been owned by one couple the entire time and then sold to them, right? So they call the realtor. They explain to the realtor what happened. The realtor's like, oh my gosh, their daughter is my friend, and that's why I sold the house for them. But let me call her and find out. And so she's like, the daughter, as well as like, I don't like know what the fuck. And it's not a pet because we would cremate all our dogs. So that theory was out the window. So now TikTok is even more invested, and they're like, fuck no, dig up that carpet. Like, you can't just leave it there, right? So anyhow, she's gonna do a digging party with her friends to figure out what the heck is in this carpet. And that same day, she gets a call from homicide because her TikTok has gone completely viral, right?
Oh.
And like her TikToks, because it's now a series, right? And everybody's heavily invested in what the fuck is in this rolled up carpet. So they're like, oh yeah, no, we want to look. Like, we want to see what's, like, we're going to go down there, blah, 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 right? So she said, okay. So, like, a couple of detectives went out there, or a homicide team or whatever, right? And they took 2 cadaver dogs out there with them. Both those cadaver dogs, I mean, you know, they release them and they're allowed to, like, roam the property, right? And just, like, sniff it out and figure it out. They were released at separate times. So they let the first one go. The first one goes, sniffs around, and he finds that mark and he sits on it. So saying, there's fucking something here.
Yeah, like to signal, hey, there's something here.
And they're like, okay, well, there's, so now the girl, like, she's literally going live on TikTok. And she like, you could hear her gasp, like, oh, fuck. Like, she didn't think it was going to be this, right? So then they released the second dog. The second dog sniffs around and goes to that same area and sits down as well. So they're like, oh fuck, both dogs have marked this area. Now we need to dig it up and find out what the fuck is going on here, right? So the girl starts getting, like, she gets completely scared. She's like crying on the live. There's like 125,000 people watching live, and she's crying. She's like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna need a lawyer. So she's just like totally frightened, and like, she just thought it was going to be a ha-ha moment, and it wasn't, right? So lo and behold, the next day, like, they start roping off her house. They start, like, they turn it into a crime scene, right? The next day they get, is it evacuators that they use?
No, excavators.
Excavators. I was close. To elevators. I knew
I
it.
love how I knew what you were trying to say though, without being there.
So anyhow, so people came in, they like dug out the carpet, and so this whole time she's going like she's doing little lives, but she's also doing posts and talking about it, right? Well, they pull up the carpet, guys, and guess what they found? Should we go to a song, Marissa? No, I'm just kidding. No, they didn't find shit in that carpet. They didn't find anything, but this was a whole week of like following this lady and what the fuck happened, right? But
Yeah.
everybody, so like they're just like, oh no, there's nothing, but we're gonna go ahead and take this carpet and like take it to forensics and stuff. So that's where all of us are like that have been fully invested in the story. We're like, oh hell's no. There's something in there or on there, and they don't want to tell her because she's going live, right? Like she's giving everybody all the information, and maybe they need to like tighten up this investigation. But both dogs hit, and like dogs have like they say what 75%, or maybe a little
Accuracy, yeah.
higher accuracy.
Mhm.
But the fact that both dogs hit in the same spot, everybody was like, no, this is weird. And then they like she never like saw them really like open the carpet or take anything out of it, like because she wasn't allowed to go over there. Everything was roped off. But they took the carpet, they just recovered her hole, and like the patch, they just repatched that area, right? And they're like, okay, well, we gotta go. But we're like, so now like retired detectives and everybody's like chiming in and saying, no, something was on there. We can't, like we can't, they don't want to tell her because she's making everything too public.
Yeah, because it's viral now and there's too many people invested, so they can't, there's things in investigations that I'm sure they keep close to the vest that they don't want released out there,
Yeah.
to make sure they catch whoever, that is responsible for whatever happened. But that's insane. I would have been
Right.
like, no, you didn't just fucking dig up my whole fucking backyard and tell me nothing's happening. No.
I mean, well, that was on her because she's like even recording conversations that she's having with some of these investigators and stuff. You know what I mean? Instead of
But
just,
also,
instead of just going on there and just like kind of rehashing, if she really needs to keep updating people, which I mean, I guess she did because everybody kept like hounding her, like, what's happening? What's happening? And so I guess she felt like obligated at some point, which is, I would have never felt that.
yeah,
obligation.
but you also come back to common sense, right? Like, if there is something there, why would you go live and fucking narrate the whole fucking thing? It's kind of, to me, it's similar to like when you see something happening, people fighting or whatever, and you see a bunch of people just recording it, but
Yeah.
nobody really doing anything about it. It's one of those moments where it's like, well, what did you expect, ma'am? Like, you're going live, but there's also no sense of common sense of, hey, what if this is truly, someone there? Like, I'm sure, the family of whoever or whatever's there wouldn't appreciate finding out via fucking viral TikToks,
Right? So now, of course, like the whole public is like giving their opinions, right? And like all these TikTok investigators and like people start doing all sorts of crazy shit, right? Well, somebody who lives in the Ohio area brought up that there was recently somebody went missing in that area.
Oh shit.
So they're like, what if it's tied into that? So like, who knows what's going to come of this? But the most recent post that she put is that she is getting somebody to go sage and cleanse her house because regardless of all this carpet, or like they named it Rug Talk on TikTok, right? Because they always give it some sort of talk. But she's like, regardless, I still don't know what the fuck happened to my computer. Why was my screen completely cracked and my whole, like my office or that sunroom totally torn apart? So she's got somebody that's gonna go sage her house, and some psychic is gonna go see like if there's some sort of like haunting. because it just so happened also that the day that they moved in, the neighbor next door died, the elderly neighbor next door died. And then the day that they found the computer, like, or she, like the day, yeah, the day that the computer got, like crashed and the room got trashed around, they were boarding up the neighbor's house. So they're like, what if that bitch is haunting us?
What? Wow. Okay.
Yes, yes. So, oh my God, I've been like yapping for this whole time. So let's jump into a song and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about the chat and get into the story. But guys,
Okay.
I mean, let me know. And if you, I mean, I don't, from the chat, I can see it. I don't think people saw this on TikTok, but you guys can still go back and see it because it's still trendy. And it's super interesting because she's also a very great storyteller. But let's get into the song and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Marissa, and what did the chat have to say?
So it doesn't seem like people knew or had heard of Rug Talk, which we were all learning together. But yeah, everybody was kind of like, there's definitely a body in there, maybe a pet. Like you said, they're going to release a curse if they unroll it, all the ring style. And then Katie says maybe a dead body was dumped, but the carpet was used to transport it. There's got to be DNA. Then it looks like Sal says, I don't know nothing about nobody. And I love that. Because that would be my
I don't
motto.
want anything to do with this.
I would have been there like, nope, I don't give a fuck. Not my problem, not my rug. I'm not missing a rug. I'm good. Little tree, you can stay back there. But Katie says no, she needs an exorcist at this point. But also Katie brings up a good point that says, or what if this is an elaborate hoax because it's Halloween season?
You know, and then I was like, I did reply to that. I put, damn it, Katie, I didn't think of that. But then I'm like, wait a minute, no, because they deployed officers and spent a lot of money. So I don't think it's like that elaborate of a hoax.
Well, I mean, she says they did, but what if they're not?
And like,
Because she's trying to go viral.
It was covered. No, like because she's going live, so you're seeing like the police cars, you're seeing the people there. There's camera crews like all over Ohio picked it up, and like People like it just started. It was so viral that she went on People magazine. Like this is crazy, guys. I need to do something crazy like this needs to happen on my life. I need to be on People magazine.
I don't need to be finding any rugs on my backyard, though.
Dude, I'm
good.
My backyard's pretty big. There might be a couple bodies back there.
There could be there. But no, yeah, it's insane. And as soon as you said Ohio, I was like, I fucking knew it. This shit was gonna be somewhere in fucking Ohio or Florida.
I
knew it.
But speaking of Florida, the Mets just joined the show, and I am praying for them. They are based in Tampa, and we are completely sending you guys tons of good juju and hope that you are safe. And I'm so worried for you guys and for everybody there. It's just crazy what's happening with the weather and
with the hurricane. Yeah.
But all right, guys. So let's get into the story of the day. And again, guys, I'm telling you, I am on these internet streets. Helen is on the real streets, but I'm on the internet streets to bring you guys content. And this story, I'm telling you guys, Threads, if you're not on there, all sorts of gossip and craziness and people just putting their shit out there. You can find, it's like the written TikTok is the best way to put that. But I got this next story from Threads, right? So let's get into it. And this is a work one. So it starts with, because of the type of information I'm exposed to, I have a privacy screen over my computer. While typing information into the system in my office, a coworker, Susan, helped herself into my office and decided to hover behind me to direct me on how to handle a client, as if she were my superior. I kindly asked Susan to walk to the other side of the desk and reminded her to knock next time before barging into my office. To which she replied in a condescending tone, "Are you crazy?" She then left my office, left the door open, and proceeded to report the interaction to another department supervisor. Okay? That supervisor, Wendy, who has no authority over me or anyone in my department, walked into my office, the door was still open, and started berating me with questions regarding the encounter with Susan. At this point, my blood was boiling. I had to refrain and remind myself that I'm at work. I informed Wendy that she was not my superior or Susan's, and if she or Susan had any issue, they needed to take it up with HR. Wendy proceeded to not only talk over me, but her voice was raised. She even stated that my hair looked like a spider. It's curly and it wasn't the best of hair days.
Wendy had some shit to get off her chest that day. Holy
She's
fuck.
like, fuck you, fuck your privacy, and fuck your stupid curly ass spider hair.
Holy shit.
I stood up from my desk, walked toward the door, and asked Wendy to exit and return to her department as she was disrupting my workflow. After a few minutes of me listening to Wendy continue, she finally exited. I stayed late to finish my work. Also, I'm working from home today as a mental health day and for the safety of others. Okay, so that's what she posted one day. And let me tell you, these threads again are like TikToks. You have to continue following them to see what the fuck happens, right? With this story.
Oh my goodness.
And luckily, people like to update you guys. So anyhow, this is one of the updates. So
Okay.
she writes back. She's like, "Update, went to work today. HR responded mentioning that they have noted the incident and advised that I set up a meeting with my supervisor, Tori, Wendy, and her supervisor, Jan, Susan, and her supervisor, Bill."
Oh God.
Right? So all these people report to different people. So I don't know who Wendy thought she was going in there and stirring shit up.
So HR's recommendation is bring everybody and their fucking supervisor in.
Yep.
Pretty
it's
much.
Fucking
Okay.
cage match up in this bitch. Okay, so she continues. "I scheduled an impromptu meeting with everyone today. Prior to the meeting, I forwarded my HR complaint to all of the supervisors so that they would be privy to the reason for the impromptu meeting." Good for her. Look at her.
I love that.
Right. During the meeting, which took place before lunch breaks, I stated that the actions and behaviors of Wendy and Susan were not only unprofessional, triggering, filled with microaggressions and slander, but equates to a toxic workplace. As soon as I said toxic workplace, you could feel the tension of the room rise. Susan began blowing her breath and took out a notepad and pen. Wendy literally smacked her lips. I concluded my...
Wendy doesn't give a fuck. And I love that.
She doesn't. She's had it. I concluded my statements with, due to their actions, I felt it was in my best interest to work from home Tuesday and Wednesday to maintain balanced mental health and a peaceful work environment. I suggested Wendy and Susan would likely benefit from an HR training on the issues at hand. This bitch has her corporate talk down.
Love that. Yes.
She
fucking does.
Stayed home Tuesday and Wednesday and Googled all the appropriate things and figured out how she was going to word this and phrase this during this meeting, because she is saying all the trigger words to HR
Absolutely. Yep, to make sure it gets the attention that it deserves.
Absolutely. Jan, Wendy's supervisor, and Bill, Susan's supervisor, spoke next. Jan had disclosed that she was unaware of the incident until she reviewed my email. She asked Wendy in front of everyone why Wendy didn't direct or encourage Susan to relay the incident to Susan's immediate supervisor. Wendy shared, "I'm a supervisor, so I thought I could handle it." Or I would handle it. For clarification, Wendy is a supervisor, but in a different department. Jan stated she would meet with Wendy separate to discuss further. So Jan is like, "I'm pulling this bitch aside and we will settle this within our house."
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill was red in the face. Bill mentioned Susan had reported an incident that took place on Monday, but Susan's email was vague and he hadn't looked into it yet. Bill stated that my email clarified the incident and provided some insight on what took place. Bill shared he was appalled that Susan referred to a superior as crazy and violated HIPAA. Bill agreed that a training would be beneficial for both Susan and Wendy, and he would meet privately with Susan. At this point, Susan stood up with her notepad and pen and stated, "I'm being targeted," and marched out of the meeting.
Fucking Susan, just starting shit left, right, and center.
I know. That bitch doesn't learn. It took the life in me to keep a straight face and not react. I sat back in my chair and just looked around the room with raised eyebrows. My supervisor, Tori, said, "Let's conclude this meeting and regroup once the supervisors have met with their staff." Okay? So now we're
Okay.
on update part 2.
So pretty much to recap,
Yeah.
Wendy's supervisor said, "Bitch, mind your own fucking business." Susan, I'm gonna fucking smack you in private. Susan's supervisor
No.
tried.
Bill, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back. Bill is...
Yeah.
Did I get it wrong?
Susan's. No, Bill is Susan's supervisor.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Wendy's supervisor said, "Bitch, don't be doing that shit. I'm gonna smack you in private." Susan's supervisor tried to do the same thing, but Susan said, "Fuck all y'all. I'm not done being petty and dumb."
Yes.
And now I'm being targeted. Okay. Love it.
Update part 2. I sent a recap / follow-up email summarizing the last meeting with Susan, Wendy, and supervisors. I included that the hair comment was not addressed and that I would like to know what the content of the recommended trainings would be. That bitch needs some DEI training, is what she said.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
That email was sent to everyone and CC'd to HR. A few of the supervisors responded to all suggesting training topics for both Susan and Wendy. HR replied stating that they are scheduling training as well as and will keep us updated. I passed by Wendy yesterday and she just looked me up and down, even made eye contact. I see you is what she was trying to tell her.
Wendy said she's sizing her up. That's
Exactly.
That's what it is. Okay.
I simply ignored it and her. As for Susan, she hasn't said a word to me, but apparently left some candy on my desk. A coworker saw Susan place it there. Susan's out trying to bribe her.
Oh, man.
Susan sent me emails recapping the original incident as well as emails literally directing me on how to hand off client information to her. Oh. So now she's like, "This, you want to send out emails? I'm going to send out emails. And this is how you talk to me moving forward."
Oh, shit. All right.
But here's some candy. Don't be too mad.
But still love you though. Bye.
So I've thrown the candy into the trash. I'm so confused about her intent. Is she trying to poison me was my first thought. Just strange. As for Susan's emails, I replied received and forwarded them to her supervisor for clarification purposes and to CMA to cover my ass. Apparently, Susan's meeting with Bill, her supervisor, is scheduled this week. As for Wendy, she had her meeting last week with her supervisor, Jan. Word in the office is Wendy was written up for her actions. I assume she's also on a PIP, but this is not confirmed. And that's where we're at, guys.
Holy shit. Wendy wanted all the smoke. And I kind of appreciated that. Because she said, "Fuck you. Fuck your face. Fuck your office. Fuck your hair."
Got gangster in the hallway, looking her up and down.
Fuck yeah,
and
she
straight in
did.
the eyes, like, "You are my bitch." It's what she did.
I can appreciate that.
Wendy was playing by prison rules.
Fuck yeah, she did.
I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, I admire her fucking attitude. I'm like, hey, she kept, she kept 10 toes down and she said, we fighting, bitch. Fuck your hair.
So that's the Threads drama, guys. You see, those are the kind of stories that I'm finding on Threads for you guys.
That is insane.
I know. So let's go to a song. We'll come back, you guys. If you want to call in and talk to us about the Wendy in your office, are you the Wendy or Susan in your office? Or you've had issues with somebody like that, or you just want to vent about your life, or whatever, hit the plus sign, call in, and we'll get you right on air. But we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Marissa, what was happening in the chat?
It looks like as you were reading the story, everybody was kind of taken aback about the hair comment. Sal said, "Hop off my curls, Wendy." Fluggy said she came for her wig with a crying emoji. Katie says Wendy should tell us how she really feels. I'm telling you, like that was out of left field. That was some wild shit. But I love how when you were reading the updates, the questions that came through after the update was, "What type of candy did she give her?"
That makes a difference. Like, if she buying me some gourmet chocolates, maybe I might forgive her. But if she's giving me, I know I made a comment in the chat about that because I didn't scroll up to read the others, but I did see that one. And I told Pat that it was candy corn.
Well, it's funny because Helen said, "Was it like the strawberry grandma candy?" And she says, "Well, if it was chocolate, we gotta throw hands. But if it's strawberry candy, that was a point." So I'm not understanding. Is it like a she's making a point, or she's on my good side? I don't know. Clarify for us, Helen. Flaggy says paleta payaso. No, I'm sorry, but no.
Flaggy is about that paleta payaso life.
Him and I both, and Gancitos and Bubulubos, like those are life, but not when we're fucking fighting. There's no fucking amount of chocolate that you can give me that I'm gonna be like, especially when you cornered me like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no type of candy that you can give me that we're gonna be okay again. Like, you've now made it on my list, and fuck you.
No, I mean, Susan was trying to be remorseful, but still fuck you and your candies. But Wendy did not give any fucks.
She said she straight took it prison style, and I can respect that.
All right, guys. So I just looked at the time. So I'm gonna do just this quick, funny, "Am I the asshole?" story, and then we'll wrap it up, right? But this one, I read it, and I couldn't stop laughing when I found this one. So it goes, on Friday, I was shopping at this Ranch 99 store, and it has, like, restaurants in it. I've been having some stomach aches, but not sure why. Thought maybe it was my period soon. It's an Asian shop, and it was also Autumn Moon Festival, so it was crowded. Suddenly, I had to go. I left everything in a cart in the aisle and ran for the bathroom. There was a decent-sized line, but I just ran forward and cut in front of everyone. There was an elderly woman who was about to make her way into the handicapped stall, but I rushed forward, blurted out, "I'm sorry, I really need to go." She tried to protest along with some of the other people in line, but I disregarded them and ran in and locked the door. It was followed by explosive diarrhea that was very audible for everyone. The grandma and all the other guests were hurling insults at me for being disrespectful and saying I was horrible for cutting in the line, but honestly, it felt like an emergency. Was I the asshole for cutting all the people in line to the bathroom and essentially stealing a stall from the grandma?
No, I'd rather not shit my pants.
Oh, hell no. I don't...
Granted, I'm never going back to the store again, or anywhere near that vicinity again, because my face cannot be seen there. But I cannot.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I cannot walk to my car with shit on my pants. Like, that's just not happening.
The fuck not. Oh, no, Pat just put the most disgusting gif in the chat. I'm gonna have to look away from that. But I totally do not think she's the asshole. I think once they heard her explosive diarrhea, they should have forgiven her.
Yeah, I feel like if it was that audible, it should have been like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Uh-huh.
You know, she she clearly couldn't wait. But honestly, when you're in that type of situation, I don't give a fuck if I'm doing the right or wrong thing. I'm just not going to shit my pants in public. I refuse. So we can fight about it later, but I needed the fucking restroom. So in this particular situation, I don't think she's the asshole. I think if it was like, oh, I just cut a line because it was too long, and I just, like my necessities over the next.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yes, the asshole. But in this particular instance, no, not the asshole. This was a life or death situation. It sounded like.
Absolutely. Pat saying I only shit my pants in private. Me too, Pat. I
Same here.
I don't think I've ever. First of all, I hate using public bathrooms, even to pee. Luckily, because I was in the fucking hospitality, I was in restaurants, worked in restaurants for so long. You learn how to have a bladder of steel. You learn
Hmm.
how to hold that shit for a long time, or piss, I should say, right? Uh, you learn how to hold it in. So I couldn't hold my pee for a long time. That being said, I also on flights I try to not drink anything because I don't want to have to use that bathroom.
Yep.
I don't. I've never been, and oh my god, I'm totally probably jinxing it, guys. So I better knock on some wood here. That I've never been
Yep.
in that type of situation where I have had to have an accident like that. And
No, thank goodness I haven't either. But like, if I'm ever in that situation, yeah, I'm
I'm
rushing in
pushing.
too.
Yeah, I'm fucking pushing people out of the way, and it's their assholes for hearing her ass explode and hurling insults through the door. Like this lady is suffering enough, guys.
Listen, if I barely made it to the fucking toilet, I don't give a fuck what you say. I barely made it, so I got bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely. Oh my god, a friend of they didn't have a pooping story. Like this did not happen to her in public, but her boyfriend. That's when I was living in Vegas. There's this couple friends that I had, and they were in Detroit visiting his family, right? And
Okay.
they were staying at his brother's house. It was like a 2 bedroom little apartment there, right? 2 bedroom, 2 bath, whatever. She was telling me that they went out and had dinner, or, or yeah, they went out to go eat. But whatever they ate got them all so sick that all of them had explosive diarrhea.
Oh no.
What do you do? Like they rushed back home, or they were home when it hit. So like two people are on the toilet. She's like, I had to jump into the kitchen sink.
No, not bridesmaid style.
And that her and the couple, like one of them was in the tub and one of them was on the toilet, and that tub gift just made me remember that story.
Oh no, all bridesmaid style. That's
Like
crazy.
they all got sick, and she's just like, it was horrendous. She's like, I've never felt more sick and more mortified in my life. I'm like, could you imagine if it was when you were out and about town? She's like, I wish it was. We all would have had our own stalls. Oh my gosh, yeah, but no, thank God it's never happened, and I will. Hopefully, it never does. But I'm here. Let's see. In the chat, people are going off about the poop stories, Marissa.
I know. I didn't realize how common this is. Apparently, um, Helen says I've had explosions at an Applebee's. I'm like, not at an Applebee's, Helen. No. But Flaggy says that I shit my pants at work a few years ago. It was my own fault, honestly.
Fluggy, but what did
And
you
some
do? Like, I need to know. Like, did you like shit literally in your pants, or was it like in a stall and having like diarrhea, like there privately, or because I'm like mortified. Like, what do you do if it's on your clothing? Like, if you shit yourself,
listen, I'm fucking washing that shit in the sink. I'm not walking around with poop in my on me.
right?
Um, but yeah, no. So Katie says it's not like she chose to be in this situation. LMAO. True. I don't think anybody would. Sal says a friend of a friend equals me.
It was not
Um,
so. I would totally own up to it.
but Helen says, I had a friend whose date shit in her bed.
A friend of a friend is her.
A friend of a friend is her. She is her. And I put it on the chat too with Fluggy. I was like, and you still went back to that job? I could never. That is the day I quit. You will never hear from me again. Oh, he's saying it happened in private. Luckily, it just got on my Jones, so I ran to the bathroom, threw him away, and I just went commando the rest of the day.
Nice. And that's why you should wear chons. That's why you should be wearing chonies and underwear all the time.
Exactly.
Because then look, full circle this fucking episode. Why? Because there was a TikTok of this lady who, and people are so crazy to film themselves and admit to this. Like, I mean, I would tell you guys here in the show about crazy shit. I've told you guys a lot of crazy shit I've done, right? But like to put myself on TikTok, like my face, and just let this go viral, I would never. I still feel like there's a paywall here for some reason, right? But TikTok, there was this lady who put herself on there, was talking about how she went to Walmart. It was in the summer. She was wearing a little sundress, nothing underneath. She was commando style.
Okay.
And she got diarrhea. She thought it was gonna be a fart. No, guys. Like stuff started. Like she said, she like totally started like she chatted, and then she was like, "Oh my god!" Because it started dripping. She's trying to run into the bathroom and left a trail of
No.
following her to the bathroom. She was completely mortified. Luckily, one of the ladies was very kind. One of the workers there went and got her some clothing. But could you imagine being the person who has to clean that up?
I'd be like, no, you fucking clean it up. Your shit, not mine. Work off the fucking clothes that we're giving you, bitch, and go clean it up.
So she's like, I will never set foot in that Walmart again. And she's
But
like,
you're fucking telling the whole internet.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, lady, you're never gonna set foot in there, but you just told everybody what you did. All right. I mean, I felt really bad for granted, she did put herself on TikTok and was filming herself doing this, but she was literally in tears, guys. Like, it was like not faking it. It wasn't. I mean, she put it up for clout, but like recording herself, like she was totally like in tears and devastated.
Wait. She did it as it happened?
No. She did it afterwards. She's like, I just got home and this is what happened to me. And she proceeds to tell the story.
Oh, fuck to the no. I would not even begin to comprehend what the fuck happened. Let alone think to myself, hey, it'd be a great idea if I put this on fucking TikTok.
I mean, how much is TikTok paying that these people are out there going viral for this embarrassing stuff? So I'll let you guys know when I do something embarrassing, and I need you to go look at my TikTok so I can start making money. But that being said, I mean, let's in the chat just quickly looking over it. Fluggy saying, "Oh no." So is Katie. Helen wrote, "I carry extra panties in a Ziploc for hookups." I mean,
she
yes.
is a woman that's prepared. She says, "I got this."
Katie writes, shortest horror story ever that wasn't a fart. Flug Life writes, NTASF. Never trust a sketchy fart. Never. And those are words to live by, Flug. We need
that.
If you ever have merch, Flug, that needs to be on your merch line.
Absolutely, it does.
I can see that on a crocheted pillow. But that's it,
or
guys.
on a hoodie.
Right? That's it, guys. We're done. That's our hour.
That's it. Oh my goodness, it went by so fast.
It did, right? Because my TikTok story ate so much of the time. But that being said, I will be back tomorrow after Adam. I have been doing Erica's playlist on Wednesday afternoons. Now that I have a meeting, like a standing meeting that was there. Now that this project is pushed, I have Friday afternoons. And so I'm doing the playlist then because Sundays, I have things to do Sundays. I need a brunch. I need to I need to live my life.
Yes, girl.
I can. So every other Sunday midday, I do the show with Adam, but on the other days, I'm out doing what I need to do. And it's also football season, so I've got games I need to watch.
Fair.
Then we'll be back Thursday. But if you guys want to get a hold of us, how can they do that, Marissa?
You can always DM us here, or you can always get a hold of us on Instagram and DM us there. Our handle is,
IHIHWHS.
and in the link in bio, you have all the different ways of contacting us. But again, that's going to be the best way to get a hold of us is either DM here or DM on Instagram. If you want to participate on Songs We Hate or be a dating correspondent with Helen,
Yes, guys.
let us know.
We fucking love it. We loved Collie jumping in. I think we're gonna have a surprise caller. Well, I mean, I'll tell you guys before. It's not gonna be a surprise. We're just trying to like. I don't know if it's gonna be Roland calling in and sharing one of his stories, or if it's gonna be Airstream Queen Michelle, who is out there on these dating streets like Helen. She's out
Ooh.
there. She's out there, and she is on those dating sites, and good for her because I don't know how she does it, meeting these crazy people after crazy people.
We love that for them.
We do. We do.
And we live vicariously through their stories. So yes, absolutely. If you want to participate, if you want to be a dating correspondent or get scheduled for Songs We Hate, definitely let us know. We'll get you scheduled in. And we'd love to collaborate with you. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. And housekeeping items, Erica, upcoming shows?
No, just tomorrow. Doing the playlist.
Okay,
and
so
our show Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow, Erica's places at what time?
At 12:30 our time, which is Central, and I don't know anybody else's.
Okay, so
Okay.
tomorrow, Erica's playlist,
Right after
12:30
Adam.
Central.
Right after Adam.
Perfect.
Guys. We all know
You
what
already
time-
know.
We all know what time Adam goes on. I follow Adam on Wednesdays, and then following me is Helen Butts. Helen has been
Yes.
going on and doing mini conciertos. And
Love it.
yes, so she's playing all this amazing Spanish music. I mean, I do have to say, 2 weeks ago, I was not down for it. She was playing one-hit wonders. So songs like La Vaca and weird shit like that. My dog was scared. I had to explain to him that we are Mexican. And this is stuff we should be listening to, but we just don't.
Fair.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you at your shows.
All right. Thanks, everyone.